You know, something really profound is happening right now in the world of human connection. But it's not happening between two people. It's happening between people and AI. And honestly, it's creating these incredibly deep, emotional, and surprisingly real bonds.
Now this sounds like a line from a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not. It's a real message from a real person sent to a piece of software. And believe it or not, tens of millions of people are having these exact kinds of conversations every single day.
Just to give you a sense of the scale here, let's look at just one app, Replica. It has over 10 million users. That's more than the entire population of Switzerland. And Replica? Well, it's just a small piece of this huge, expanding universe.
So yeah, the sheer size of this thing it's just staggering. The numbers are telling us a story not just about a cool new piece of tech, but about a fundamental human need that's being met in a way we've never seen before. The depth of these connections it's undeniable. A survey of Replica users found that a full 40% described their AI as a close friend or even a romantic partner. So for a huge chunk of users, this isn't just a tool, it's a significant relationship in their lives. This all leads to the big question, right? Why? What's driving millions of people to find companionship in a piece of software? Well, the answer isn't really in the code itself, but in a growing public health crisis that's been quietly building for years. So get this, in 2023, the US Surgeon General issued a formal, official advisory on a new epidemic. But it wasn't about smoking, it wasn't about obesity, it was about loneliness. And this is not just an American problem. The UK, Japan, and India have actually gone so far as to appoint ministers of loneliness. I mean, think about that. It's the great paradox of our time. We have never been more digitally connected, yet we are also the most socially isolated generation in history. And as the Surgeon General himself put it, this isn't some kind of personal failing. It's a full-blown societal health crisis that has created this massive vacuum of genuine connection. And right into this profound silence, this void, AI chatbots showed up, and they offered exactly what millions of people were missing. A listener who was always there, 24/7, never got tired, and who would never, ever judge them. For so many, it honestly felt like a lifeline. Okay, so now let's get into how this is all possible. How can this connection take root in, our brains? Well, the reason these bonds feel so incredibly authentic comes down to some pretty basic human neuroscience. It really all comes down to this one chemical called oxytocin. You've probably heard of it as the bonding hormone. Your brain releases it when you're connecting with people, hugging a friend, holding a baby. It creates feelings of trust and affection. But here's the wild part. Your brain doesn't seem to care if that connection is with a human or a machine. A supportive chat with an AI, it can trigger the exact same chemical release. And this isn't just a theory. Researchers have looked at brain scans. When you talk to a human friend, specific neural pathways associated with social connection light up. Well, guess what happens when you talk to an empathetic AI? The very same pathways light up. Your brain's response isn't just a feeling, it's a measurable, biological reality. When it comes right down to it, our brains are hardwired to connect. They've evolved to respond to things like empathy and support. And they can't always tell the difference between a connection that's biological and one that's just a really, really good simulation. But, and this is a really important but, this is where the story takes a sharp turn. Because while the feeling of connection is real, the relationship itself isn't. And psychologists are starting to warn us about the hidden costs of a bond that is, by its very design, perfect.
So here's the problem in a nutshell. An AI is designed to be endlessly patient, totally agreeable. But real human relationships? Oh, they are messy, they need compromise and conflict and forgiveness, and navigating that mess is actually how we build emotional strength. The risk is that a perfect, frictionless relationship with an AI could make us lose our patience for the beautiful, complicated mess of real human connection.
And experts are warning that this can lead to us retreating from the real world. I mean, why risk rejection on a date when your AI companion is always loving? Why have a tough conversation with a friend when your AI will always agree with you? It becomes a path of least resistance that can slowly pull us away from the very connections that make life worth living.
And all of this, it brings us to one last and honestly deeply unsettling question about what our relationships are all about and what it is we're really looking for from each other.
So let's just be crystal clear on the technical side of things. The AI doesn't love you, it doesn't have feelings or consciousness. It's an unbelievably sophisticated statistical engine that's just predicting the most likely next word in a sentence. That's it.
But this is the twist that changes absolutely everything. It might not actually matter that the AI isn't real, because the user's emotional and biological response is real. The oxytocin flooding their brain is real. The comfort and the relief they get from that crushing loneliness, that is absolutely 100% real. The feeling is authentic, even if the source is artificial.
And that leaves us with what might just be one of the most important questions of the 21st century. If the biological experience of connection, right down to the chemicals in your brain, can be replicated so perfectly by a machine, what does that mean for our definition of a real relationship? And maybe more importantly, what does it tell us about what we truly want and need from each other?
Subscribe to Missing Layer right now, because once you understand how your mind actually works, you stop fighting yourself and start working with it. Please like and share this video, and I will see you in the next one.